everybody. This is Vaughn, Sweet Rocks Crystal Healing here. If you haven't already done it, hit that notification, subscribe, and hit some likes on this. I got a really cool message today that I've been really inspired to tell. And this is my Drive and Talk, episode 6. And what's interesting about this episode, which just kind of came to me today, because I was like, man, I'm really feeling like talking about what I'm about to, is that 6, the number 6 in angelic numbers, is about love, compassion, and responsibility, and kind of like getting to it. I absolutely love, this whole Nikola Tesla 369 model, and I'm beginning to understand why he did what he did and his weird, quirks that he had with the 3, 6, and 9. And so it's just fascinating. So if you don't know anything about numerology and kind of the powers of certain numbers with our synchronicities that we experience, those are interesting ones to look at: 3, 6, and 9. But anyway, my message today, and I talk about it a lot, is how I'm going about my life now in living my life in overflow. Now, what does living your life in overflow mean? Like, that's the question that a lot of people, I feel like ask, and I feel like that because I've asked it too. What does living your life in overflow mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, overflow. Like, sure, I'm working hard, I'm doing all my things, I'm doing, what I need to do to survive, but how do we walk in overflow every day in our life? And so my message today is kind of talking about how I've come to this realization of how to embody overflow in everything that I do. So a lot of what I've been learning in my life right now is taking the example of Yeshua in the Bible, where he kind of went on his pilgrimage to kind of go and talk about things and sharing his knowledge and wisdom. And what I've learned in my experience when I am in overflow, which is how I'm running my business, I work when I can, I do what I can, but I'm also going about my everyday carefree. No stress, no anxiety, no none of that. And for a lot of people out there, living a life carefree and stress-free is like a mere dream. Like, most people are stressed and anxious and kind of beat down with where they're at in their life, because a lot of us, like me, we work this job that doesn't necessarily serve our purpose and certainly does not serve our higher cause to things. And so kind of where I'm going with this is that there's a lot that's easier said than done. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Living your life in abundant overflow, being grateful and present in every moment, is far easier to say than it is to fully embody and encompass in your everyday life. Like, it really does take practice to achieve this state of consciousness of where I'm carefree. Like, my world, I've talked about many times about how I live in my happy little world, my own little fantasy world, and it works out for me really good. But how do we achieve this? So I kind of want to just walk you through then how I live my life in overflow, how I posture myself from day to day, from morning to night, to prepare myself for what is to come. I don't know what's to come. I don't know what to expect, and so that's why I want to talk about it, which is interesting because it falls on my Drive and Talk episode 6. So before I begin this conversation about my process, go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit that like there. Let's share my message, because I share my messages with the pure heart and goal and intention of helping people see that they can do it too. And that's really what I want to do, is to show them that there is an alternative way to living. And we all see the corruption that's in the world. We see the evil, the negative, the fears that are being projected, the fear porn, whatever you want to call it. We all see it. And I think we've been lied to about pretty much everything. And I think all of the deception that we've been indoctrinated into limits our ability to step into our powers. And I am going to do another video about stepping into our powers, and to kind of elaborate on what I'm doing and how I'm stepping into my powers with my crystal healing. But today is about walking in overflow. Like, I feel like this is a good topic I need to elaborate on. So at the beginning of my day, right when I wake up, this is a thing I've just been doing over the past, a few months now, actually, 4 or 5 months now. I've been listening to my body. Now, how do we listen to our body? Because we're so used to what we're taught to do, like what we eat, how much to eat, how frequently we eat. We're taught about salts, and we're taught about fats. We're taught about all sorts of things that, in my opinion, just overcomplicate everything. And one of the key elements to me working and living my life in abundant overflow, walking with grace, walking with love and compassion in all things, it takes practice. And a lot of it, I feel like people are resistant to based on predisposed fears, based on your circumstance. So I've mentioned in my previous video, at my Drive and Talk episode 5, about how, I briefly mentioned it, but how religion kind of created a limited way of thinking. Like, it limited my ability to grow, in a sense, spiritually, because I just saw, things that just didn't make sense. They didn't align up, and they just certainly did not resonate with me on the inside. And so when I wake up first thing in the morning, when that alarm clock goes off, and I dread it every time, because it's like, no, man, now here I am following the matrix that they want us to live. And I'm grateful now that it's 3 days a week, because I work the weekends. But when I wake up, that alarm goes off. The very first thing I do before I get out of bed, before I go use the restroom, whatever your ritual is in the morning of waking up and getting to it, this step is so important because it sets my mind to being present in what I'm going to accomplish in my day. And again, I never approach my day with plans. I don't set plans because I find that they give me stress and anxiety. And they leave me triggered. If they don't follow through the way I envision it, I find myself feeling triggered as a result of it. And that's only amplifying my stress and my anxiety. So when I wake up first thing in the morning, I immediately I'm awake now. I tell myself, okay, now I'm awake. I come out of my dream zone. I come out of my dream state, my slumber state. And the first thing that I do is take a very, very slow and long, deep breath. And I choose to do 3 cleansing breaths. That's what I call it. So really long and slow inhales. I hold for just a couple seconds, and then I exhale slowly. And I do this 3 times. And after I do that, then I proceed to this 5-second method that I learned through Step Into Your Power. And basically what that means is that through my gut, this area, my solar plexus, solar plexus, is that I'm doing the Buddha belly breathing. So basically what that means is that when I take my long, drawn-out, deep breath in the morning, I'm pushing with my gut outwards to start activating those lymph nodes and those glands in that area, because your stomach has, in a way, a mind of its own. It does kind of help regulate our everyday. So what I do is I get that going. I get that active. So before I get up, get a drink, whatever I got to do, brew my coffee in the morning, I take these long breaths. So 5 seconds in, long and deep, and I hold for 5 seconds. And after I hold for 5 seconds, then I slowly exhale, and I make sure my stomach pushes all the way in and get all that air out. And I do this about 5 times, okay? Now, on the last time, I do hold for 10 seconds. So I have found that this same method I use in my meditation is to kind of get my headspace right when I want to go within and I want to connect with my higher self. So I do this very similar breathing exercise to bring me into inward within me, so I can embody my higher self, my power that I have in this earth, because I believe this earth is a heaven. I don't see it as an evil, corrupt, dark place that's miserable and chaotic. No, I see this world as heaven, and I see this as the real Eden that we're living in. So I shift my perspectives in my life through my experiences to embody this. And so the first thing in the morning, I do my breathing exercise. Then right after, I do my lymph nodes. So I'm working on my neck, working on my face, working on my chest right here in my torso, working under my armpits. And then I work all the way down into my loin area to work those things. And then this only takes a few minutes. It doesn't take long to do. It's just, I just kind of massage each pressure point there, about 15, just 15 circular, and I just kind of work it. I make it a part of my routine. And then I do my stretches. I kind of stretch my arms. I kind of get my things going. I get my legs up to my chest to kind of pull everything up, just to kind of get my body going and get my spine readjusted. Because sometimes working my physically labor-intensive job, my body is really strained. So I make sure that I make it a point to get my body going before I exert it by getting out of bed. And I know it sounds silly, kind of sounds dumb, but since I've been doing this, I'm finding that I get right out of bed. I don't hit the snooze anymore. I don't dread waiting for that alarm clock. But it postures me to take on whatever gets thrown my way in my life. So I get about my day, I get ready and cleaned up, if I need to, take a shower, whatever. I get my coffee brewed, and then I drive to work. I have 30 minutes to kind of listen to some cool music. So a lot of times I like to use frequency music to kind of posture this. Now, I'm a Taurus. I'm born in May, so I'm a Taurus. We have our quirks like everyone else. And one of the things that I do is that I've started listening in the mornings my 174 hertz frequency music, the sound frequencies. And Stepping Your Power has some really great music that's actually harmonized to encompass those frequencies that resonate through the very soul and cellular structure of our body. So I read about it and I was like, this is pretty cool, so I want to start doing it. Well, it's pretty impressive. So when I wake in the morning, I am fully energized, and it doesn't matter if I've only slept 4 hours. It doesn't matter if I slept 12 hours. I wake up completely refreshed, energized, ready to kill my day, whatever it is. And it all started when I started using this breathing technique to kind of help me get back into my body and get going. And then I go about my day and I'm full of energy. And I'm told or asked by many, many people along my years, as dude, Chef, Vaughn, whatever, how do you have so much energy all the time? And you're just always happy-go-lucky. It's because I take time for myself. Now, this whole process that I do is maybe 10 minutes. Now, I know I'm like everybody else. I probably have set 10 alarms to get out of bed, and I hit snooze 5 times in between. I'm just the average person. We all dread getting out of bed because oh, here we go again. Got to go back to the grind. And I kind of just no longer have to struggle with that. And that, I feel is half the battle to getting through my day. It's how I wake up. So as I go through my day, this postures me to be in overflow, where I have the energy that I need to get through my day, whatever it may be. My body does not ache anymore. I'm no longer sore. I'm completely revitalized in just, a little bit of time working on myself, just taking that 10 minutes. That's all it really takes. And it really sets me apart. Now, again, I've done a lot of inner work with my soul, with my higher self, with releasing the shadows that are part of my life, with healing my traumas. And what I've been learning along in my journey is how to be present. Now, just that word of being present is just like it says, it's a gift. It is a gift. I mean, it's amazing what I found. And I'm fortunate that I have children that allow me to shift my perspective from the chaotic world that I'm plugged into of working a matrix job to learning how to just be free with, carefree, with no shame, no guilt, no anything. And I'm grateful that my kids help me learn this. My kids are one of my greatest teachers in my life right now. Especially my 4-year-old, because she is so in the moment always, and it gets exhausting at times, but with everything that I'm doing in my life, I still have the energy and I have the mental aptitude to deal with everything I got to do and manage my family. So walking in overflow for me means that I am present. When I'm not in overflow, I'm dealing with something. When I'm not in overflow, I might be anxious about something. I might be second guessing things in my choice. I mean, I don't really know this because it's circumstantial from situation to situation. But the more that I practice in every single trial that comes my way is how do I embody love? When someone says, something along the lines of, oh, I don't like how you do this. This makes me feel wrong. Before I would be concerned because I really genuinely do care about what kind of impression I'm going to leave with people as we pass. I do care about that because I genuinely respect and care for everybody that's around me. We all have our part here. We all have our struggles. We all have our gifts. Whatever it may be, collectively, we are extremely powerful. So being present, it tributes to my being of overflow in my life every day. And because I've been practicing this so consistently and diligently and really focusing on the inner part of myself, stepping into my power, it's amazing the outcomes that happen on a day-to-day basis. I don't get stuck in traffic jams. I don't have some jerk cutting me off. I don't have some, road raging crazy on the road trying to run me off the road anymore. Like, I don't deal with that anymore. When I'm in the store, people are like, they're now magnetically drawn to me, whereas before they would repelled from me because of how I carry myself. And I would say I'm pretty bold and confident, but not overly. I know my truth. I know what I believe. And because I know I've been lied to a lot of my life on every aspect that I've ever been taught and shown, I have been able to eliminate virtually 99% of all of my fears in everything in my life. And it's empowering to live my life with minimal fear. Like, I'm talking like little to none, like this much. Like, I might have some if it's like a new thing, like, oh man, I don't know what to expect, but I also have to bring myself present and be like, you know what, that anxiety of what's about to unfold, that's taking me to a past tense or future tense mindset, and that takes you away from being present, which is, in my opinion, embodiment of love. When you can be present right here, right now, that, in my opinion, is the ultimate expression of love. And when we can focus on being present, we can then give love in everything that we interact with, whether it's my food, whether it's my water, whether it's my coworkers, whether it's my girls, whether it's, dealing with school stuff, whatever it may be. It allows me to bring myself into check of being, okay, I'm triggered, take some deep breaths, and then we're going to bring myself present, say, how can I love this? And that's a hard question. How can I love this miserable situation someone put me through? How can I love the fact that they projected all their negativity on me and I set them off? How, like all of these things that we go through every day, it's, we are essentially tested in our experience on this earth. And over the past few weeks, I've been amazed at the results of what's been happening in my life since I've been just adding these practices and trusting in the process. So when I say that we're an instant manifestation, the only way I believe that this actually becomes valid in my life is when I am embodying being present and choosing to love the things around me, whatever it may be. Now, I dread going to work like everybody else. Okay, I don't like going to work. And the second I shifted my mindset into this job is paying me something, this job is allowing me to provide something, this job does give me purpose to some degree, this job does give me routine in my life, because as I'm learning to step into my sovereignty, I'm realizing that I need to be extra disciplined at my routine, whatever that may be, and I need to learn how to adjust with everything that comes. Now, if I'm working from home doing my business, how do I manage my children, especially my 4-year-old, while I'm doing this. Like, it's super distracting because she loves hanging out with me. She loves doing the things I love doing, and she always wants to help. Now, I don't want to teach my daughter in any way that her time is not valid. But I do have to set boundary in the sense that I need to focus on what I'm doing. Because when I'm crafting and weaving, I'm counting 3, 6, and 9 in my head in pretty much all of my patterns. And if I'm getting asked questions every 2 minutes, I'm going to lose track of what I'm doing. And then because what I work with is so fine, it's hard for me to see, like the count how many I've gone, because I forget. And so I've been learning how to balance all of that. And it's taken me at least a decade to posture myself in this way that I can be in this state of mind of pure bliss, happiness, and abundance. Now, I'm working on the financial aspect, and I feel like I can speak for many Americans out here of struggling with finances. But when I eliminate the fear of how am I going to pay this, how am I doing that, it just, something happens, or a crumb of some sort just shows up. And I just happened to make it happen. I don't know. I didn't plan for any of it, but it provided itself to me in some way. It's amazing how this all comes together. But I choose in all of my struggles in my life to embody being present. And being present is how I can maintain a high level of overflow, so I can share kind words, so I can talk to my dear loved ones, so that I can love their experience and celebrate what they're going through. It's like, when I can talk with somebody and they can explode on me with whatever, just vomit all their negativity, and then I just look at it and be like, hey, I feel for you, I can identify and relate. But I'm able to give them a bit of wisdom, and because I'm in overflow, I'm really attuned to my higher self, and when I come up with whatever I need to say, it's amazing how it aligns with where they're at and what they need. And because I choose to embody the love aspect of being involved with them, it's just incredible in my story. So this is how I embody overflow. Oh my gosh, I just got home and my little one's pulling up. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. So I got to end this video right now because she's... Okay, I'll be on a second. Okay, I got to end this now. But guys, I love it. This is how I choose to live in overflow. I choose to be in the present, and this allows me to be in a full body of love and walking with grace and presence, just like Yeshua was teaching us in the Bible. This is how he did it, because laughter, joy, happiness, all of this comes from when we can balance ourselves and rid ourselves of the fears that confine us in all things. So I choose to live without fear now. And it's amazing what unfolds in my life and peels away from my onion as I learn to embody this. So y'all have a great night. I appreciate it. If you haven't already done it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like on there, and spread this word. My goal is to really help inspire people as a real just grit guy like everybody else, how I'm breaking free from all of that confines that keeps us in a state of fear. So y'all have a great night. We'll talk to you later. I appreciate your time, and thank you. And until next time, enjoy this driving talk, episode 6. Bye.